Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the comic collector geek, and I got a whole bunch of people here. This is crazy. We got Lettuce Comics, we got Hall Yeah, we got Number Two, and we got Matt Likes Comics. So a whole bunch of people. This should be a pretty good hangout. We're just gonna chill and show some cool things. I went to a Comic Con, so that's my thing.
So did I.
That's why. Well, I still have to think. I have the media.
I left
one.
mine upstairs.
Mine says media. That means that I must be media.
Oh, second class citizen, huh? And that's you go to the con in steerage. Is that's what happens with media?
Yeah, that's basically. I actually got to skip the
Well,
lines.
considering that mine is VIP, I would say so.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, well,
Fancy.
mine's like, I don't know.
Alan, always remember this: how highly we esteem the media here.
Okay, well, yeah, I know you guys love the media. So yeah, but that's fake news, right? Okay, so let's say hi to the people that have come here. Hi, Splash Page.
Hello.
Mr. Monty.
You know, it's funny. I never see him on this, like, you know, in the chat here, but I always see him when I'm in the chat on some other show. He's like usually doing the.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery. And hi, Jeffrey.
Jeff.
And well, you're here. You're in multiple locations.
I'm everywhere.
And then hi, Werewolf by
Werewolf.
Lunchtime. And then we got hi, JSS.
JSS, John.
Leaker.
Mr. Bleak.
Oh, Epoch. Wow, Epoch's up
Hi,
late.
Epoch. How are you? I hope
Like-
you're well.
Epoch, it must be like 2 in the morning or something. Wait,
That's okay. Thanks for coming, Epoch. I hope you're okay.
8 plus 5.
Yeah, I
is-
hope you're soothed by the
1 in the morning.
dulcet tones that this stream is sure to produce.
And then, yeah. Then we got Lyle.
Dulcet, where have you been?
Then we got some Mad Spidey. I was actually
Spidey.
looking for
Hi,
Lyle Tour. I was actually looking for him at the Ottawa Con, but I didn't see him. So, because he's in Ottawa. And we got some fiddle chips here.
And
Bill?
chips.
And that's it. So that's
Matt,
it.
you look like you're sitting on a pine cone. What's wrong?
Oh, I am exhausted.
Oh, and hi, JX. So there.
Hi, JX.
Hello, hello.
Wow. So yeah. So I didn't do the show yet. So JSS, I didn't do the panel yet. That's on Sunday that I do my presentation, which I have not prepared yet. So it should be fun.
Are you going to record it?
Yeah, Matt's going to
gonna
record it.
Matt is my videographer that day.
Very nice.
So we have a much
And
better
I will
video.
wear your
Oh,
shirt.
and
that
Hudat's
day.
here as well. Hi, Hudat.
Hi, Hudat.
And hi,
Hi,
Brian.
Hudat. Big
Before
Brian.
we get started, I want to give an amusing little antidote from today. Whatever they call it.
Anecdote.
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 Thank you.
You've been
So
around
I
Alan
did an
too long.
Yeah,
I
it's
did an interview with artist Brianna June
okay.
and her handler / agent guy who was with that.
Mhm.
When I finished the interview and I said I'm Matt and I like comics and I hope you do too.
He
Turned
called
around
security.
when I got done and said, "Oh my God, I watched you last week. I recognize that phrase."
That's
So
awesome.
Matt is super famous. He's a celebrity. He was like the whole time. Matt was just like saying, "Okay, it's $20 if you want an autograph." And he's going around signing people. He was signing people that were just walking by.
That's got to make you feel good, Matt. That's good for
It
you.
surprised me
Awesome.
because these people are from Nova Scotia, so
Oh, that's
they
cool.
I
live in
won't
Nova
hold that
Yeah.
against them. I mean, you're that far away from you. You mean?
Yes, well, I have an ex-girlfriend that lives in Halifax, but anyway.
Oh wow. Okay.
But we won't talk about that.
But it's not Brianna. Okay.
I have to learn Canadian geography. I am lost.
We
Okay.
lost.
It's
Matt to
Halifax is the
Hollywood.
one over by Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
They're all over by Tim Hortons up there.
That's the joke.
Everybody lives next door to a Hortons.
It's
Yeah.
like Tim Horton.
Horton here's a who.
Well, I
Where's Tim
understand that
Hortons? Just
America
look
runs
that
on
way?
Dunkin'. So you guys have your same thing.
America runs on what?
Dunkin'.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh,
That's what I
Doesn't
hear.
run.
not in Portland, not in Oregon. They went belly up here.
Oh, really?
You know what's hilarious was in Canada, Dunkin' Donuts was a really strong company, and then Tim Hortons managed to put them out of business.
I like
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts because they had the donut with a handle. Or do you even know what I'm talking about?
The what
Yes.
with the handle?
Okay, a regular. If you have people would always dunk their donuts into
Donuts.
coffee.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah,
what you do, and you got to dunk it short time because if you leave it in too long, it melts
It
off.
becomes
falls
mush.
in your
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah. Basic things.
Okay,
yeah.
so what
makes
Dunkin'
milk.
Donuts did to take care of that is when they make the cake donuts, they made it have a little handle. So you had the circle, and then you had a little tail off the side. So you could hold the tail, you could hold the handle and dunk your donut, and then the handle would be the last thing that you would eat. That's okay. Then you don't know Dunkin' Donuts. That's all right. Or they probably haven't made those since the 1960s, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did either Matt or Hagen know that about Dunkin' Donuts? Nate?
You mean
did
Nat?
No.
You mean Nate?
Nate.
No,
I was combining Matt and Nate.
I'll
into
bet
one
you
name.
Mike knows that.
I'm a
Dunkin' it-
simple bakery serf. I eat the donuts that I'm given, and I do not complain about it.
But did
I
you
could
notice like
not
some
possibly
extra
care
handle on it?
about. No,
I don't think they do it anymore.
It's gone too quickly for me to
The
notice or care.
dinosaurs, since the dinosaurs, they haven't been using that technology.
I think that's older than the McBLT. So yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the one that kept the hot side hot and the cold side
hot
cold?
and the cold side cold.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Boy,
innovation.
that was like new Coke. Ugh.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
things
It
are a
was-
part of the fossil record.
It's a build your own hamburger kit. Like it came in that giant styrofoam tray, and you had to assemble it.
I also was lucky enough today to interview Yannick Paquette, who did
Okay.
this cover.
Oh, that's
One
cool.
sec here, I'll make you big. One sec here.
He actually did the cover for this,
Power
and
Girl.
he was there. He was there with the original cover tonight. That's why
For sale? For sale?
Oh, that's
Yes,
really
for
cool.
Sale. How much was it, Matt? How much did it cost you?
I didn't ask. I knew that. Listen, the guy's making remarks for $135, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford it.
Yeah. Probably the original would be really expensive.
Guys making remarks for they were charging $130 for remarks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
are the guys?
Well, Yannick Paquette was charging that.
Okay, guys, I will do an unboxing since
Cool.
you guys already unboxed yours.
No,
I'll
I
unbox
haven't.
mine.
I did not, Lau. I only did 2 interviews today. However,
I
there's
didn't
still
do
2
any
more
interviews
days.
today.
Mm.
I'm gonna do all my interviews tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna unbox this if you guys really want me to.
Yes.
Is that how they make boxes in Canada?
Join us.
That's how they make
Join
boxes.
us.
Everything's in a bag. Milk's in a bag. It's really syrup's in a bag. It's all in a bag.
So do you guys want me? Do I really have to open this?
No, don't ever open it. Just stare at it from afar.
It's like
Why
so
is this a
precious. It's my
decision that you're
precious. It's my
laboring
precious.
over?
He's so
Because he's,
conflicted.
because he's a pill. Because he's a pill. That's why.
Okay, look, I got a knife. I can poke it.
Oh my god, do
Should I
it.
poke it?
You got a knife and you know how to use it?
Like, this is going to become like worthless.
There are
The
a
value is
whole
gonna
bunch.
drop
There's a
immediately.
lot of symbolism to this, and there are a whole manner of things, metaphors I can make about this, Alan. But
Like,
this is a
like
family program. Just
mint.
slice your rib tickler and then just do it.
Okay,
What's
but-
truly
okay.
worthless has been the past minute and a half that you've spent debating on this.
I just feel like
Just-
Do it.
it really
Just
bothers
shit or
me.
get off the pot, dude.
Okay. Okay, I'm doing it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so
I'm proud of you.
Did you
Okay,
harm
well-
yourself? Are you okay?
no.
He's
I'm
bleeding.
bad
To
now.
call someone.
He's bleeding.
Should I save this or what? Should I save this? Maybe
You
if
see
I put it
Brian's
back
comment?
in, nobody will notice. And I just reseal it.
Alan, after the perforation has occurred, you can't bring it back. I have understood this for a long
Okay.
time.
So which finger are you guys putting this thing on?
Ring finger.
Ring finger.
I think.
Ring finger.
So are we married now? Is that how it works?
No. You put Legion rings, and I actually know this because they said so in the comic. Legion rings are red on the ring finger on the right hand.
Oh, right
This is my
hand?
right hand.
Yes.
And then
You
ring
don't,
finger,
because
just
if
like
you're
that?
married, you need that finger.
Yeah.
Is that good?
That
Yes.
way, married legionnaires
That's the
can still
wrong
fly.
finger, dude.
Yes.
Put it on your ring finger of your right hand. That's your
Okay,
other
this-
right
Oh,
hand.
sorry, this one.
There you go.
Okay.
Does-
So now
okay.
but you know, it's too big for my finger. My finger's like it's got like a lot of space.
Put it around your neck.
Did I get resized or something?
I like that.
Okay.
Fiddle Chip says, I think Alan just got engaged.
Yeah, I think we're all married now. My wife's going to be upset, but okay.
Again, there are things I could say and I can't say it.
You know, actually, I never wear a ring. I don't wear my ring. It makes it really hard to pick up girls if you have a ring on. So.
Okay.
So,
That,
would you like
that
me
and
to can I
the
show-
massive collection of comic books that you have.
That-
make
that-
it
Oh,
very
doesn't
total
help
nerd
either.
alert. Come on back to
I
my
would
books,
like to
baby. We'll
point
look
out-
at my comic book collection. Oh, don't you have any etching?
Take this whichever way you want, but my wife thinks Alan is cute.
See? She has good
And
taste.
when does she go into the eye doctor again?
She wants to keep. She's like she wanted to keep the picture. She's disappointed that it's going out.
I'm going to show some books before our chat
crowd
basically
leaves.
barfs and leaves.
Okay. Go ahead. Show some books.
So, Space Ghost has re-entered my sphere of influence, and I've always loved Space Ghost. And I have a beautiful, very first appearance of Space Ghost, and they just let him languish. Dell Gold Key just let him languish. The same thing that they did for Astro Boy, and the same thing they did for the Jetsons. It was just like one issue, and then they had a Hanna-Barbera anthology thing where they would have a couple Space Ghost stories, and then just not much of nothing. So, but I really do enjoy the Space Ghost, and so here is one of the. This is variant cover F for the Dynamite Entertainment 2024. This is a Space Ghost #3, and it is a Jay Lee cover.
All right. Very cool. It has almost like a Spider-Man feel to it for some reason.
No, it's Space Ghost.
Okay. I'm just saying. Okay, go ahead.
Here is the Del Otto Virgin Edition for Space Ghost #1, Gabriel Del Otto.
Okay. That's
You'll
pretty
accept,
cool.
you'll accept that?
I'll accept that. That's really
That's
cool.
awfully nice. That's decent of you. And here's
He's doing the power move too.
here is the fancy
Raw copy.
then the certified limited to 444. That's almost like some guy looking for 222. Okay, there's this one. Here is an older one though. This is from 1987, and this was when Comico decided to do. By the way, do you look how nice and white my shirt is, Alan?
I noticed that.
I
I like your shirt. It's very nice.
I'm wearing the colors today, but you will notice that my head does not disappear like Mark Oldroyd.
Yeah, he was
Mark
very angelic.
Oldroyd disappeared. His
I know.
white hair and white beard on a white shirt.
And his camera light was too bright, I think.
His
Too.
light was too bright. He just disappeared. He looked like a guy that
It's
was
funny.
quarter and leaving.
Yeah, I was making fun of them the whole time, actually.
But this is Space Ghost #1. This is a pretty cool cover, actually.
Mm.
Do you
That's
guys
nice.
do you guys know Space Ghost at all?
Oh,
I watched a few
I do.
episodes of it.
All right,
Yeah.
then please name the characters.
I don't know the characters at all.
I don't know the characters.
The guy in the middle is Space Ghost, though.
That's the power pack, right?
You guys,
I knew it's a guy and a girl and a monkey, right?
Yep.
Okay,
There's-
this one I
oh,
can
see,
do. We've
that's
got
so
Brack,
Brack.
and we've got what's his name?
Zorax.
Zorak. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's the guy in the armor?
The
Who's
mask.
the gal? Who's the gal? Who are the little fish guys? Who's the guy hanging five with the cricket?
Salmon and tuna.
What is that, by the way? I don't know what those characters are.
Well, I'll give you the kids. It's Jason Jan.
Yes,
Jason
Dad.
Jason Jan. But you guys know what the name of the monkey is.
Squeaky?
I just know it's not Gleek.
Is that the one that
Squeaky
Ronald
is,
Reagan was hanging out with?
Squeaky is Boy Comics.
Okay.
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 He is not. Steppo is not amused.
No,
The
I'm
disappointment is
I'm
palpable.
always amused. Don't I look amused?
Wait.
I on an impulse bought. There was a fella who did original art on a partial blank cover, and his name is Souza Micah. I don't know who Souza Micah is, but I do like his art, and these are hand painted ones. Here is Power Girl,
Susan Micah, I think, is a girl.
and it looks like it says something Taylor down here. Signed and sketched by Jeff Taylor. So it's Jeff Taylor's. The Salamica is on the inside. This is the sketch cover on top of it, and this is a Jeff Taylor, and this was done in November of 2023.
Very nice.
And that is
very
Power
nice.
Power Girl with her powers.
Hmm.
And there were 3 covers that he did, and I bought all 3 of them. A couple 300, couple 2.5 or something for them. Wasn't that for a signed 9.8 for original art? Here is this one was done by Jeff Taylor as well, and this is Wonder Woman.
Did you see that? Or that's really, I like that one.
These are
That's-
hand sketched, Stephen.
These are the guy drew these. Yeah, they were blank covers, and he put the girls on.
Wow, that's
amazing.
really well done.
Yeah.
And where did you get this from, Sean? Oh, you got it from
No,
my
I
comic
did.
shop.
I'm just kidding. No, I got it on eBay.
eBay? Okay, wow.
I got it on eBay.
eBay.
And this is the last one, and this is another Taylor cover, and this one is this is sort of nice.
They look
Whoa.
better. Actually, the pictures you showed me on Instagram for these, I actually didn't think they looked as good as they do now. They look really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, they look
That
really
looks
good.
like an ad on that Black and Orange website whose name escapes me.
I would like to point out that they were selling merchandise from that named place that escapes you everywhere at the con today. I saw sweatshirts with it on, t-shirts with it on, little
Oh, really?
tops with it on.
What was it? What was on it?
You'll find out when you're older.
Okay, they better hurry up.
Website.
They better hurry up for me.
The name of the website is, like a place where people can watch.
Just say it. Faro's
interesting
Lounge.
movies.
No, it's a
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Club
I'm gonna go a little bit further, and then I will relinquish to someone else on the group here. By the way, it's
And
awfully
the
nice.
land of porn.
It is the land of porn, not like down here in the United States.
Wow,
We
you guys are
don't go
innocent
for that.
today.
But you guys don't have freedom of speech up there either, do you?
Yes,
Well, we
but
have
here's
freedom
what
of
I don't
porn.
understand in the United States. Okay, and you can say I'm wrong or whatever.
You're wrong.
You guys, your television shows.
Okay, thank you very much, Matt. Thank you very much, Matt. You're very, very nice. Thank you. Here is my Dr. Doom spec. This one I got from Whodat in a Band of Brothers auction. And I'm a gullible because he says to me, Steve, I'm sure that if you'd crack that and send it back in, the guy must have not had his coffee and donuts yet at CGC, because that is a 9.8 book, and I know it's a 9.8 book. So here is my 9.896. And then right after the guy had his donut and coffee, he graded this one. And so that's why and this is, again, Doom spec. This is a second print. They made 800 copies of this book, and it has taken off.
Whoa. Only 800.
Only 800. But this was from
That's really low. I mean,
this is from 2020. So the survival rate on these, not very good. And if you go on eBay, or if you go on these are going for pretty good chunk of money. So continuing my Doom spec, and then I will relinquish. So here is another Doom spec.
Nice.
okay. That's an
Okay.
interesting choice.
I'll let you. Okay.
At the con, there were certain vendors that just had like a whole rack of just different Doom covers. It was the funniest thing.
Doesn't it make sense?
Oh yeah, no, it totally makes sense. And then the funny thing was, on one vendor they had a whole rack of Doom spec, and then behind it on another rack was all Dave Stevens, all different Dave Stevens covers. It was like very spec orientated display.
Well, the whole thing about Dave Stevens, when Dave died, which was really sad because he had a very aggressive cancer, squalus something or another, and it just took him out. And I had a chance to really meet and know him. I didn't really know him, but I really felt as though I had a long conversation with the guy. I really liked him. Good sense of humor and fun. And I went to Excalibur Books here in Portland. That my friend Mike, Lunch Money Mike, on Sunday will be coming here. And I will be taking him over there because he's here in town for the Rose City Con, which I'm not going to. But anyway, at the same time, it's Excalibur is an amazingly cool store, and they have back issues. I mean, it's going to be a dream for him to go digging through because they've got books coming out of their eyes. I went in there right after he passed away. I did the same thing with Darwin Cook when he passed. I went to the store, and then one of the guys went through the whole store with me, and I got, basically almost the entire collection of his, and I could pick. They had 3, 4, 5 copies of each book at that time. They just accumulated them because, as you know, Dave didn't turn real big. He was good, but people just didn't embrace him until that special came out that they did on him. And now people really understand how good he is. And I think that Darwin Cook is also extreme in a different way, but also very good. Here is another Doom spec.
That's nice.
That is,
I feel like it should be green.
He looks so happy all the time.
Doom?
How old is that one?
This one here?
Yeah.
Oh, this is from 1849.
Well, I'm just asking because the direct edition stamp there, I'm not used to seeing on like new books, and I'm also not used to seeing old like Virgin variant covers. So it was just too it was like it was just odd to see next to one another.
Very good. This is my eclectic nature. I share this with you. I don't share it with many people. Here's another one.
Oh, that's interesting.
I like that, the way Doom is drawn in the background.
You're picking up a lot of Doom spec. I haven't even seen that cover before. Iron Man.
Oh, come on. That one's got to be spiking.
I think that is spiking. There's like...
That is spiking. I've seen that on many art lists right now.
There's like only so many of these you can get, right? I feel like, it's like... No,
I mean, this was the Band of Brothers auction and the auction with the Queasy Dad or whatever it is, Dizzy Dad
Queasy
or whatever.
Dad?
What?
Queasy Dad? What's Queasy Dad?
Whatever the Dizzy Dad or whatever it was that had really good. Who Dat was there and some other guys. Another auction, and some guy had some really nice stuff. Stans, I guess, was his name. Here's another one.
Oh, that one I was actually looking for. I don't know if I have it or not. I gotta look for it. I want to look next round.
And the last one I'll show on this thing here is I think I've got 3 of these now, but I think it's good to have. It's a good book.
Okay. That's a good one. I have that one coming. That one's in my stackery right now. That last one.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
See, I cut you off. You get cut off.
Very nice.
One sec here. I wanted to show one book, and then I'm going to go to you guys. See, I have a Space Ghost 2.
That's Space Ghost 1.
Yeah. I just had this. It was just handy. I figured, hey, why not show it?
It's a great. And show the back cover if you would.
Back cover. Okay, sure.
This is a full-page pinup. It was back when Dell would do that, which is great. It's a great cover.
It's back.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
It is quite cool back cover.
I like it better than the front cover.
Yeah, I actually would agree. The front cover is kind of... I don't like the 3-panel thing.
But that was definitely of the time, and then they gave you the full image in the back, which is exactly how they would do it.
Yeah,
very nice.
Cool.
Thank you. Cool book.
Okay, so yeah. So who wants to go next?
Let Nader let us go.
I brought something that I said I would bring, so it's kind of a surprise.
Okay, well, surprise
all right.
us.
Okay, I'm gonna surprise you. So I brought my Star Trek transporter.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness!
Man,
Cool.
cool.
I was talking about
So-
that last time. That's cool.
Okay, so if you see, there's nobody
Okay,
there.
yeah, you got to do it. You got to do.
They've
the
been
thing.
beamed away.
Oh,
So
thank
now,
you. By the
now
way.
we'll bring them back. Do you
Oh my
see him?
goodness. Oh
Yeah,
do it again. Do
Spock.
it again. One more show.
Okay.
One more show.
Oh
one
yeah,
more show.
I'll send him away. I'll send him away. He's gone.
Wow.
It's not magic. It's science.
No, it's
I'll
not
bring-
science. It's magic.
I'll bring him back one more time.
Is he the only guy you have? Don't you have Spock? I mean, don't you have a Scotty or a Kirk?
And you can put
Well-
all the different characters inside.
Can you
and
put
have
can
them
you put
teleport.
Yeoman Rand in there too?
You can put anybody in there. I actually don't have a Yeoman Rand, and that breaks my heart. But I sent you a picture, Steven, of my Star Trek shelf. I mean, I think I have around 35 or 40 of those Playmates figures.
I
Wow.
love it.
So anyway, I told you guys I'd bring that, and it's big and bulky, and I didn't carry it up these stairs for nothing. So I wanted you to check it out. I brought a bunch of Star Trek comics too, if you want me to show any.
One sec here. Actually, I'll let this. So he's plugging. I'll give him since he donated. I should let him plug his thing a little bit here. He's plugging. I guess he's doing a giveaway.
Oh,
So
okay.
go over to his channel, people, and you can maybe win one of these cool prizes. See?
Yeah, not to like tip my bias here or anything, but his most recent video was talking about how the character Captain America changed his life. And it was just a really chill like guy sitting next to a fire while holding comic books, which scared the hell out of me. But guy sitting next to a fire, talking
Reading
about
comics.
how comic books have influenced his life. It was a really, really nice listen.
Okay, that's cool. Well, everyone have to go over and subscribe to that guy.
I will
Give
do
him
that.
Give him some love.
All right.
Okay.
I love Werewolf. I love that you said don't put Dr. McCoy in there because you're right. He hates the transporter. I
Yeah.
brought a couple of old Whitman. Now I've had these since I was a little kid.
Oh my goodness.
I
That's
mean, look, I got this one
There's
for
tape
5
on it.
cents. Yeah, I got it for
Wow.
5 cents at a garage sale. And I don't want to
Wow.
peel that off. And I don't care. These are so cool. Like the art inside is really bright. They remind me of like book and record sets. The paper it's printed on and how colorful the paper is. I also liked, so like this one was cool. Well, here's the cover's great. I mean, we've got a car and a chariot and
that's really awesome.
some phaser play.
I
But
have
then
one of those back in my
Nice.
my
in
parents'
this
house.
one, there's like a race of crystalline people, and I like how in Star Trek comics they can go a little bit deeper into aliens than they can in the show because they don't have to rely on special effects; they're just drawing it. So,
By the way, wait. Can you zoom in on
Yeah.
that crystalline guy? Looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
He's wearing diapers. I'm not sure if I'm mistaken on that.
It kind of does. I
Yeah.
think
Doesn't it
that's
look like he's
just
wearing diapers.
it's just his lower half. I think maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Just saying.
The splash page on this one, the one it opens with, I also like because it's
Oh, that's awesome.
a crystalline dragon and all the crystalline people, and then our Star Trek crew
Unless
helping them
that's
out.
Scotty, the guy in the red is going to get.
It is Scotty. It is Scotty.
Okay.
This is when Marvel had the Star Trek license,
Yes.
and this is so terrible. So Spock's holding a gnome. He's like, it appears to be a gnome, Captain. And Kirk is like, yeah, but what's he afraid of? Because he doesn't hear this other gnome riding a rabid bat with some kind of mace bolo coming right at him. I mean,
Why
both
is it
of
a
those.
rabbit bat?
Well, I don't
Like, I
know.
mean,
but
seriously, it's got foam
Because
coming out. I get it, but
90% of bats have rabies.
it's like so weird.
that sounds like a made up statistic, Matt.
Did you ask all of them?
Yeah, well, they got irritated.
But I just think this is a bizarre
I guess
cover.
that's why they're batty.
So I like there's 2 Star Trek runs from DC for the original crew, and this
Yes.
one happens right between movie 2 and 3, and I think this one's hilarious. The character that Kirstie Alley played, Saavik,
Yeah.
and it's like finally the origin of Saavik. It's what I've always wanted.
Yeah, right.
They found her in a bar. Let me guess. They found her in a bar in Boston.
I love the Next Generation run from DC.
I like Voyager too, by the way.
Oh
JX.
yeah,
My
No,
I actually
Voyager's
thought
your
Voyager was one of the better ones.
I
like
it absolutely I would definitely put Voyager as my
I liked
second pick.
9 of 9, 7 of 9.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm always
Yeah,
mocking
we
I
all
always
did.
mock the report.
Whoever does the art on this run, I think they did a good job of capturing the likenesses of the
Yeah.
characters, and the stories are good. Michael Jan Friedman, he was a writer from the show. One of my favorite characters was
Biggie's here. Hi, Biggie.
Ro Laren. And this is a cool painted cover. This one has a Chris Claremont story in it.
Yeah, I had a crush on her too. I thought she was
Yeah,
cute.
I love her. So this is, I have more comics, but this is my last Star Trek issue. And I just love this character from the original series. So Trelane, he's kind of he's the proto Q. Man, I love that you guys know this stuff.
I think they retconned him as Q.
Oh, that's
he was
beautiful.
a little guy. He was a little kid that got in trouble because the mirror was where his powers were.
Right,
There was one scene that I really liked where he was like looking at Earth through a telescope or something like that, basically, and he was basing all of his stuff on as if Earth was like 500 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. But so I brought my Trek transporter because I said I would, and then I thought I'd grab some of my Trek books to show. So that's what I got right now.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Before we go to Hagen, just put me on briefly, since it's a Star Trek thing. This was the free book that I got for my VIP when I got into Ottawa.
Oh wow,
that
you
series
guys got a lot of goodies.
That series is really good, Matt.
Okay, well, I look forward to reading it. That was a freebie. So,
Alan,
cool.
I met Bill Shatner, had a conversation with him. I had him sign this picture of him with the space rifle from the one with Gary Lockwood and Sally Kellerman. And I had to stand in line for, I believe it was an hour and 35 minutes for this, where I got to say hello to him. And then he signed it for me. And then he was pushing the book that he wrote about Spock. And then I sat and stood in another line for 2 hours on concrete to be able to have my picture taken with Bill. And when I went in to see him, and of course they move you through pretty quick, so you have to make your point quickly. And I was talking about that really horrific movie he did called Equinox, where he speaks in Esperanto the entire time. Have you even watched this movie?
I haven't watched
it. I have seen it.
It is so execrable that it's impossible to watch this thing. It's terrible. So I said, are we having as much fun as you had in Equinox? And he cracked up. No, I guess no one had even said that to him. Well, so he cracked up, and then the guy shot the picture.
That's really cool. Good way to get him to smile. And
I have more avoirdupois. I don't require as much gravity to hold me on the planet any longer. Anyway, but when I spoke with Bill, and when I was in high school, I was in a musical. We did George M. I had the second lead, and everyone thought I looked that Bill Shatner and I were lookalikes. I had more hair. He still has his toupee is better, but we was lookalikes. All right, you can go talk amongst yourselves. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
I have. Hey, real quick. I'm sorry. There's me and some friends with George Takei this summer.
Oh
wow.
So yeah. So
just gonna say that.
I just got to meet him. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This year. Yeah.
You got to meet him, huh?
Yes. Well, I mean, take a 30-second picture and say he told me to live long and prosper, and that
is he in a wheelchair? What, or is he all right?
No, he's all right, but he's definitely he's an aged man.
How old is he now? He must be.
What about
old.
Chekhov is hysterical. So Walter Koenig had a post for whatever con he was at recently that said, it was his post on Instagram, and it said, "Come see me before I die." That's a great sense of humor about yourself and where you are on life's journey. I really respect that.
Like, how old are they now? Like, how old is Chekhov?
They're all in their 80s. I think Shatner's 90 something.
Yeah, he is.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's got his marbles still.
He looks amazing.
Not as much as you think. I happened to see him at a.
Don't say bad things about Bill Shatner, man.
Okay.
You're
All
talking
I'm
about
saying is
Kirk.
when I saw him at a panel at Ottawa Comic Con, he was rambling in a little bit where it was
That's
like,
because he
I
doesn't like
did this, and then I went here, and then I did what was the question again? Like, so
That's an old man thing. That they all do that.
By the way,
Yeah,
you
when I'm
know
as
what
old as
does
he is, I hope I'm dead.
you know the cadence of his. We can help you with that. You know the cadence of his speaking, where he goes,
Mhm.
"I figure that I should go on ahead with it," and they asked him, "Why don't you?" Thanks, Fiddle.
Listen, I love
People
Bill
said
Shatner.
people
I
always
think
ask
he's
me.
great.
He said people always would ask me, why do I pause so much before I make my points? He says, I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to remember what my lines are.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's part of his whole style,
Mhm.
though.
He's not as bad as Adam West, though. Adam West was the worst.
Adam
Because
West.
I spoke with Yvonne Craig, and she was saying that they all would sit around waiting for Adam West to show up. They're all in costume waiting. And then he wants to, you know, then they start the show, and then they'd have to keep stopping because he couldn't remember his lines. Carlito. All right, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Okay, so Hagen, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
So I didn't go to a Comic-Con. I did just go to a dollar bin at my local comic store, and I spent 18 whole dollars there.
That's
Um,
huge.
and one of the things that I
I
got
love dollar
was
bins.
this. This is
Oh!
a 2-issue
Story.
set of the Legion of Superheroes Millennium.
Oh, wow.
Now, I wish that I could tell you what this was about. I have read it. I wish that I could tell you what it was about, but it was like so frenetically paced, and it was following Rose and Thorn
Yeah.
throughout like this period, this indiscriminate period of time between the modern day and the formation of the Legion of Superheroes,
Yeah.
and just bouncing around like crazy. I don't understand the mechanics of why that happened. Maybe maybe I just need to give it another read. I was very confused, but it was a Brian Michael Bendis story with Jim Lee art, so I was fairly entertained the whole way through. But I've never bought a Legion book before, so
Well,
I like mini series and one shots so that I can kind of see sort of what's going on, and that's like a
that
low
Millennium book,
risk way to get into it.
that Millennium book is like a lead in to the latest Legion series. It was only 10 issues long, so it's not hard to get a hold of.
They
And-
had the issue number 1 of that series. I was actually digging through this bin, and I sent Nate a picture. They had the issue 1 of that series in
Yeah.
the same bin, and if it's still there, I'll probably go and pick it up.
Mhm. And
Um,
they're all going to be reasonably cheap because there's no keys in the
yeah,
run.
I don't. I couldn't possibly care less. Most of my favorite books aren't keys, so like if it's entertaining and I like it, like it's $1. You know, I'll spend
Well-
$1 on just about anything. This so Nate turned me on to Jeff
You can
Lemire
stop right there.
through Essex County. That's for the after show, Nate. Come on, you know how we do this. But Nate turned me on to Jeff Lemire through Essex County, the graphic novel that he did, which is amazing. But now Jeff Lemire is one of those names where if I see his name on the front of a comic book, I will pick it up immediately. This is one of those. This is
Very
Primordial. Published by, I believe, Image Comics. Yeah, published by Image Comics, and it's a story about the space race, or an alternate space race, where and like this is the art in there. It's so cool.
That looks like a
Where
monkey.
it is because it follows animals that were sent into space during the space race, and I've only read the first 2 issues. I think it's like a 8-issue limited series, something like that. But basically, there's a space disaster where the United States loses, Russia loses. No, it was the United States. I'm sorry, loses a spaceship full of test subjects on it. But they didn't actually die. Something else ended up happening to them, and the story is like following that. And you actually meet at the end of the first book. You meet Laika, the very first animal ever sent into space, and I'm assuming that Laika is going to become a main character in the story, which I really enjoy, and I'm going to have to see if I can find the rest of that. But yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. Two other books that I found there were these. This
Oh,
is Kid Eternity 1 and 2. Now, question for you guys, really quick, if you could take me off big screen. Question for you guys. Have you read Kid Eternity? And if you did, what did you think about it?
I've read Kid Eternity. I have a Kid. Hello, Alan.
One second, I'm looking for something.
I have a Kid Eternity, and they're in and I can't remember I think it's Hit Comics, but he has this bookkeeper guy, and his modus operandi is this: he died when he wasn't supposed to die. And so he's up in heaven with the bookkeeper who's keeping track of who is going to be dying and not dying. And if there is someone who is not supposed to die, the Kid Eternity gets to come back and help make it so that the person who isn't supposed to die doesn't die, so that it's the correct thing. And he then has the ability to take people from the hereafter and bring them down to assist him when he is fighting the people that shouldn't be killing who they shouldn't be killing.
Okay.
And so he, because he isn't supposed to be dead, he can then transition between the two without any problem. And this blue guy, I can't think of his name, as the bookkeeper or something like that. Then if he wants to go back to heaven, he says eternity. But when he comes down, he isn't, and I have this one that I got from Bleecker a little while ago, which is the first appearance of Zorro. And in this one, Zorro comes to help Kid Eternity fight some guys that are going to kill someone or help assist in killing someone. And Kid Eternity goes for a long, now this is the Golden Age Kid Eternity, and it goes for a long time. It was a very popular title, and if you wanted to collect it, it is not an expensive book to collect if you do like the Kid Eternity. I mean, it's really, actually, it's a very innovative plot, and the artwork is very acceptable. So that's what I know about Kid Eternity.
Okay.
Your description kind of reminds me of Quantum Leap.
There is that to it, except that he's not coming from heaven. He's just bouncing in time.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, he was only bouncing in time until he could get onto the Enterprise, and go into space and have what's her name with McKinnon McLeod or whatever his name is, the engineer guy, and they're trying to get it together in the shower and the decontamination chambers and stuff.
yeah, it's
which is always very good on Enterprise. I can't. And then of course the one that had Janeway and Chakotay. Whenever it was a Chakotay episode, I turned the channel because Chakotay was El Snoozburger.
Yeah, he's.
But I did like Kate Mulgrew was good. I liked her in Remo Williams too.
So I love Remo Williams. You're gonna sidetrack me.
That's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
VHS.
And Chun, I will teach you the method to provide pleasure to women. You gotta show that to me. I will show you.
Hagen, that mini series, The Kid Eternity, is it painted inside too?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it is. It looks.
I don't
like...
remember that, but I know I read it a long time ago. I don't. Own
I have one Kid Eternity book, but I barely remember it. So to me, it didn't stand out. Obviously,
well, the reason
so you
why
can't remember it, so it doesn't count.
The reason why I asked is because one. Somebody asked here, let me see. Fiddle Chips asked if it's the Grant Morrison run. Yes, it's a 3-issue miniseries. I didn't know anything about Kid Eternity. So when I read it, I sort of expected to like maybe have my hand held a bit, especially since it was like a miniseries and like it's 1 to 3. I thought it would be its own self-contained thing. I struggled to keep up with what in the hell was going on in that book. Like it is all over the place, and it
Like
isn't
they dropped you into the middle of the story. Like you're supposed to
it
know how
kind of
everything
feels like
works,
that.
right?
Like yeah, so like you,
I
even
know.
as you were describing it, I was like, okay, so that's why this thing happened. Okay, that's why this thing happened. But it doesn't give you like the rules for that there. It's like a very in medias res thing. Like it just goes. And it feels deliberately obtuse. I don't know if it gets easier to parse the further on you get into it, but there are some things that you read and they're complicated because it has to be complicated. And then there are some things where, like, if you've ever seen like a bad student film where it's just like the word like paper over like a black and white over
Yeah,
black and white
some
footage of like
really
grass
artsy
for
fartsy
8 hours.
And then a
looking
woman
piece.
comes on and goes,
Yeah, like that classic thing. Like I don't know if this is that, but I did not get I was not able to understand like most of the first issue. I'm trying to get it, and it's only 3 issues, so it's not that much of my time.
So
But
you highly recommend
you
it
know,
to young children.
oh, highly, highly, highly,
Dennis,
highly.
you're making me think that one of the reasons it probably hard for me to remember because I know it's not issue 1 that I have. So I may be picking up the story in a place that just threw me off. And
I've had those
Issue
things where
number
they
1. Issue number 1 isn't any better. I'll promise you that. Like,
well
yes, but
sometimes it's so
sometimes
they're so artsy fartsy that they're so cool in what they're trying to do that it just goes. I mean, even if you have a couple marbles in your head and can figure it out and you're a comic guy, they're so shrewd that you can't understand what the hell it is they're trying to do. The whole purpose is to tell a story. The other thing too is if you see these books where it's all black and it's like everything is so murky, you can hardly make out what the figures are trying to do. I mean, it's so artsy. I mean, if you don't understand, I mean, what kind of a troglodyte are you? I'm a troglodyte that's trying to read your damn book, and it doesn't make any sense, Dad.
That's why I was asking, is because maybe you fellows are more erudite than me. Maybe you're more learned than I am. Maybe I'm just an uncultured
I don't know what those
swine,
words mean, but it must be me.
But I just
There's-
didn't get it.
There's
He
a
has
lot
been
of
fed
90s
without reading.
Vertigo books that I think are like that. Like 90s
I
Vertigo
totally
books.
agree. I actually
Yes.
always think of Vertigo books as being that.
Yeah,
actually.
and there are great books, Sandman being one of them, Swamp Thing being another, but there was a lot of experimentation in the 1990s that was done under that Vertigo imprint.
Wasn't Why the Last Man also a Vertigo book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I thought
so,
the Watchmen did make sense a lot of times, where they had all those newspaper articles, and you're supposed to read 3 pages of newspaper articles about something having nothing whatever to do with the plot, and you're supposed to be a shrewd ball enough to figure out what he's trying to. You mean, don't you understand what Alan Moore is saying? No, I don't. What is he trying to do?
He's creating a
the black
world.
pirate ship came in. What does
I
it have
love the
to do
pirate
with a
comics.
giant monster coming through a dimensional portal? Please explain to me what that has to do with any of that. It doesn't have anything to do with it. It's a non sequitur. But you got to be sharp enough to know why that's in there, right?
The thing is that, like,
it does.
This
make
book,
sense.
the book felt like a swing, and it read like a swing and a miss. But I appreciate that, because if you don't try and push against like what you think is possible, then you're never going to get to the next
Vamps too,
awesome
by the way.
thing.
I have the collection.
I think Grant Morrison especially is somebody who swings big. And I think even his good, like, he had that run on Batman, and there were so many of those Batman issues that I felt like were happening in the, like, I felt like I was missing things. It's like
the
he
thing
lets
about
a
his
lot
Batman
of
story is that it was so long and across so many things. He had he had so many ideas that were floating around, and like, okay, this issue I'm going to work on this one, and pulls it out of the air, kind of thing.
But yeah, Hagen, there are so many Vertigo books. Like I would buy things, I mean, you weren't born and I was 20, but in the 90s I would buy books from Vertigo just because they were Vertigo, because that was the cool, like, hip books to buy. And it was like 50-50. Somebody in there said it. Some books were great and some were, you had no idea what you were reading, but they were a place pre-image that I think people got to experiment, and that's kind of cool.
I like
the
Hellblazer.
medium.
They moved
Hellblazer, yeah, oh yeah,
to Vertigo, and I really like that. Lucifer 2 was another good one I like from Vertigo.
yeah.
Alan, do you have
were
any
good
books
runs.
to show?
I have a bunch.
Why don't you do some book showing?
Okay, so I'm going to show you. I actually bought a Kickstarter in January. Like, this is going way back, January, and it finally arrived. So this is my Kickstarter, and it came with some original art too. So, do you remember how? Did you any of you guys watch my interview with George Weber?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is his stuff.
Wow.
This is Pillow and Kitty, or Cat. What is it called? What's it called? Pillow and Kitty. Lucky and Pillow. That's what it is. Lucky and Pillow.
I like that.
What is it called?
Lucky and Pillow.
Lucky.
Or Pillow and Lucky, actually. Pillow and
Okay,
Lucky.
what's the name of the girl who has Pillow and Lucky?
So yeah, it's Pillow and Lucky. Yeah. So I think she's Pillow and he's Lucky.
Oh, I get it now. I thought we were talking about something.
That's just the name of the comic, Pillow and Lucky.
That's screwy.
Well, I don't know. I think it looks cool.
It does look great. I mean, it's fantastic art.
I don't know. I think it's fun stuff. It's, there's no story inside. It's just pinups inside.
It's
Nice.
it's weirdly Betty Boop meets Invader Zim.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Truly.
a little bit of Sam Keith in there too.
I could see that. I could see that. I can see the Sam Keith. Definitely. Yeah, and then
I think that's why I like it so much. I love Sam Keith. Oh,
you get the. And then
I'm not sure how subtle that one was.
So in it, they had a thing where, if you paid like $100, you get an original comic, like with cover, and then you actually get the art for the original cover. So here's the well-placed cat. So yeah, this is the original art.
Love
And
the
then-
sign.
And then, nope, that's extra. Yeah. And then there's one that's a little bit more risque. I'm going to try to censor it a little bit. I don't know if I.
You're doing a very poor
Yeah,
job.
you're not doing great.
Okay. So.
I didn't mean give up.
Evidently, it did.
Okay, I gave up.
Trying to get this video on that website we can't name.
All right. So I tried. Okay.
I know you didn't.
Okay, so another thing happened this week. Actually, my dad is visiting. My dad from Nova Scotia, and my mom is like trying to get rid of all my stuff that's in Nova Scotia. Like I have like a lot of my comics and like just childhood stuff there. So this week I'll be doing an unboxing where I'll be showing kind of the treasures from my childhood.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. So when I was at the Comic-Con, I was actually shocked because one of the things that I collected was Mad Magazine, but I also collected not just the magazines but the books. I'm not sure if you ever saw the Mad books.
I know the books.
But at one of the vendors at this Ottawa Comic-Con actually had the books, and he had sort of not really high grade copies of them, but it was like $20 each. I was like, wow, mine must be worth a fortune. So here's some of the ones that I have. I have like about 200 of these.
Wow, Chappie.
Oh yeah.
So Al Jaffe, really awesome stuff. I'm not sure.
That must be difficult to fold.
It would be very difficult to fold. Then Sergio Aragones. I can never pronounce his name properly.
Aragones.
Sergio Aragones.
Yes, and
You
he's
tried.
the guy that did Groot. Groot. I mean Groot, not Groot. Groot. And we got some sex and violence.
And home cooking.
And home cooking, yeah. Isn't that awesome?
That is amazing.
And then, so I have about, as I said, I have about 200 of these. I had a pretty great collection of these.
Yeah, I have
I tried
about
to get
8 or
every
9 of
cover.
those.
When I was a kid, I tried to get every cover, and I sort of gravitated to certain ones. I really did like Sergio,
Mhm.
but
The essential Mad was a pocket book like that.
so yeah, I had a bunch
The
of-
essential Mad, and it was and the reason you know about it was because it's in A Hard Day's Night that one of the guys that's one of the handlers for the
Yeah.
Beatles is reading it on the train.
I remember
yeah.
that.
So I'm going to be showing this week all the crazy collectibles that my parents, they brought 2 suitcases full of collectibles.
I would like
So-
to show 3 books before we go.
Did
All
you?
right.
Are we
Can
going?
I ask a question real
I'm
quick
just saying.
about?
Yeah.
Alan, did you collect Mad Magazine too, or just the digest?
Yeah, the magazines. Yeah.
So as a kid, I did the same thing, and it was like I always the digests were cool to have, but like most of the time, it was stuff I already had in a magazine because they were always
Yeah,
the
There was a
reprints.
lot of
reprints.
repeats.
Yeah,
And the thing that drove me nuts is sometimes they would have the same, like a different cover, but the same interiors.
Oh.
It really drove me nuts. Oh, what was that one?
he
Uh,
has. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
this is the last issue of Mad Magazine.
Oh,
that
wow.
I
The
found.
first volume, they did come back with the second volume.
Yeah, no, they
Well,
came out recently.
now I look like an asshole, Matt. So thanks. It's,
No, that's
it's
great.
from April
No, that
2018.
God, Matt, you really are making friends and influencing people all over the place. Come back
I-
again
all
when
I'm
you
going
can't
to
stay
say-
so long, will you?
All I'm going to say is that is cool because the first run of Mad is the glorified awesome run. The second run, not so much.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for undercutting me and then
Even
approving
yet
of me.
further,
I
thank you.
appreciate that.
Not really.
I'm
that
not
much.
undercutting you. I'm just simply stating because like that was the best. Honestly, the worst thing that I think that Matt ever did was allow ads into the after Bill Gaines died, and that was too bad because that was one thing I actually loved about the magazine, that you knew all the ads were fake.
Oh, yeah.
So or they were real and they were mad thing.
Mad ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like God, I can't think straight. Okay.
I have some more books to show unless we're
I thought
leaving.
we were
Are
going
we
one more
going
round.
somewhere?
I've got 3 I'd like to do, and then I'm done with books.
Okay, so I'll let Matt
because I'm-
go, and then Steven, you can be the finale. How about that?
Okay.
Most of the books that I bought today, I'm saving for my own video, so I don't want to show everything.
Oh,
But-
great. So you keep all the good stuff for yourself.
No. Okay. This one is for my man Nate because he likes the covers where everybody changes.
I love that, Matt.
This
I
I
like
is
the
love
cover.
it.
says, Great Krypton. I came into this booth to change identities, and I became a super fatso.
It's great.
I bought that one today.
Nowadays, he'd be considered skinny.
But the next 2 I'm going to show are ones that I know that my friend Steven will actually appreciate. I managed to, I always believe low grade is better than no grade. This is not a great high grade copy, but I've got Adventure Comics 307, the first appearance of Element Lad today.
That's a
Oh,
great one.
nice. Good
That's
pickup.
a great one.
And I also managed to get one other book that I was missing from my adventure run. It's the 8 Impossible Missions, which also has Element Lad on the cover.
And you'll notice that they have the anti-gravity belt right there. That's the
Yeah,
intermittent. They had rocket belts. They
Yeah.
had those belts, and then they got the rings.
Yeah.
And actually, the ring, I believe, was 3 issues later or 4 issues later. But I got one.
Very cool. I have one of those.
Anyway,
Too.
yes, those were
Mine's
the
not mint anymore.
those were books that I thought that a couple people would appreciate.
Yeah,
I
those
do.
are
That's fun. Good for
those
you.
are
Cool.
3 great pickups, Matt. I love those.
Okay, so we'll go with Nate, I guess. Nate,
Okay.
do you have more to
Yeah.
show?
Yeah, I grabbed a whole stack of crap. I'm
Okay,
always
good.
ready to go. Couple of so this is like I grabbed a bunch of Bronze Age DC stuff. So this is Justice League 171. It's a crossover between the JSA and the Justice League, and I always liked the covers of this one, where it's like
Power Girl.
yeah, and Flash gets to do, like, you know, he is a crime scene detective, so he actually does some procedural detecting. You know, they show up that he's got a brain in this, and I like that he plays that role.
Who is murdered there?
I do not remember. It's been a while since, but the next, so someone's been murdered,
Isn't that
and they're
the one that was Mr. Terrific?
maybe,
because I remember he died in a crossover.
Yeah, I think
the original
it might.
Mr. Terrific.
I think you might be right. But in the next cover, I love this because it's Batman saying, "There's only one member of our group who could have turned traitor and become a murderer. You." And of course, the implication, I think, is that it's Superman, because you got the red cape on the side, but you just know that's a red herring. But I just like those 2 covers that with you know, the Flash and a dead body like in the morgue, and then Batman being accusatory.
One of the things that I've always found interesting about Batman in pre-crisis times was he said on many occasions he thought Barry Allen was the smartest man.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I really like the Barry Allen run of the Flash, is because he's, you know, there's a lot more to his character than is given today. This is just a really cool Joe Kubert Batman cover. I've shown this one before, but I love the terror in Batman's face, and he's surrounded by a bunch of random, like, Arkham Asylum, you know, people who are there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like this guy back there with the pliers. They look really wild. I mean, this actually, you know, speaking of Mad Magazine, this kind of has that art style that, you know, Joe Kubert. I don't know.
Batman Who Laughs a little bit too.
I mean, I don't remember seeing much Joe Kubert Batman. I mean, I think of him with Sergeant Rock and you know, DC for sure. But yeah, I agree, Biggie. I really like him. So
Kubert would do the odd cover as a fill-in when other people were too swamped to do it, because he was so busy with his own war books that it was hard for him to get anywhere else. But he would do, so that's why he would do covers. But his covers were always standouts in whichever run he was working on. There's actually a full list of it, I think, through Wikipedia. There is if you go to one of the notes about his work, it will go to a site that tells you which almost every DC non-war cover he did.
Okay.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, dude.
What in the holy hell are you holding?
This is Elf Trek, part 1 of 2.
That's cool.
I don't.
Star Trek mix.
Yeah. So this is if I find something weird, I usually buy it. So this is by, I've never heard of this, Dimension Graphics. They also have a parody of the X-Men, if you can see it right there in the corner, but everybody's a donkey, so it's called the Ass-Men. I mean,
that could have a very different meaning.
Yeah, it's like blatant false advertising, I'll have you know. Like, I expected something else, and I'm like, why? It's donkeys. So this is,
the cover price should have been your first clue that you weren't going to get that.
I think it might be an ElfQuest parody of Star Trek, because the bottom looks like ElfQuest. So
yeah.
I have no idea, but I wasn't gonna not get it. I think this was $1.50 at Half Price Books. I'm
sure that the Peonies were really happy about that.
I'm sure they were, but yeah, if you're going into Assman, just make sure you go in with the right mindset so that you're not disappointed.
You are not going to see an Emma Frost pinup.
I got a couple of romance covers. So this Green Lantern, I mean, this lady is going to town on this alien, and I like that love has no borders.
It looks like light glass.
Disturbing.
It's a little disturbing. I actually own 2 of this. I don't know what that says about me, but I have 2 of these. And then this one, if you know, you know. I feel like this goes back to our other conversations.
Oh, boy. I have that.
Oh my goodness!
Who's the cackler?
I think that's Matt.
That
what
what
a great book! What a great book!
Two-parter is something else because he's shacking up with Barda.
It's something else, and yeah, there's a character called Sleaze, and it's John Byrne. It's kind of when John Byrne was weird. Yep, and there it is. Like the implication is that there is, somewhere is a little film made with Superman and Barda.
Okay, the funniest part of the book is that Darkseid feels so dirty about this. He feels the need to tell Scott-free. Darkseid!
And yeah, I mean, look at Scott in the background, Mr. Miracle. Superman
I'm
and
gonna
my
have to
wife.
find that. What is that? So what action?
So it's action 593, and I think 594, or it's 590, or it's 592 and 593.
And did they release the sex tape or not?
I think it's mostly implied.
It is hidden.
Yeah,
Darkseid hides it and uses
it
and uses its implications to try to blackmail Superman once later.
And this will be this is my palate cleanser, so that I'm not leaving us with the Elf Quest and the Assman or that. So Elvira, House of Mystery. This is issue 7. It's a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. And I really like when she was the host of House of Mystery, for that. It was a short period. And there are some really cool covers. So whenever I find these, I pick them up too. So I really like this one.
Well, Elvira's on the girls' team now.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't you remember? Hold on.
She's on the girls' team.
Love has no borders. Yeah. Oh yeah. She always has been.
Oh,
and she is actually, Steven, doesn't she live in Portland with you?
Actually, I have a picture of her with me, and I saw her at a con. She was extremely nice. It's a tiny little woman. Alan, this is the first part of that action two-parter.
Yeah, what issue is that?
And there is
592.
Yeah, there is Sleaze down there in the green.
Yep.
Okay.
He looks like his name is Sleaze.
He is, and in the story, he is just awful. He is absolutely terrible.
He looks like he owns a
story.
592 and 593 are the two that I need to get that whole story.
I always collect the classics in comic books. And when you have a character called Sleaze, you have to know something good is going to happen.
Well, you have to think, if Sleaze does something that even Darkseid finds offensive.
Blush is blushing. Sleaze is he's a bad cat. He really is.
Wow.
And you want to be with him, don't you? Yes, yes, I do. And you want to be with her. Yes, yes, I do. And they're in bed and he's filming them.
It's nice. He reminds me of an X-Men villain. Like that would be his mutant power.
Who thought this was a good story idea for that?
John Byrne.
Now, did Byrne do the writing on it and
yes.
art?
Yes.
John Byrne.
Wow.
Who's Keith Williams? Because it's with Keith Williams.
That's
Keith
Old Man Williams.
Was the inker.
It's the son of Old Man Williams. Get your own lines. Hell, my father
would have
been on me.
He would have been a co-plot.
You're not old enough for that.
Is this when
you don't
John
know a
Byrne
damn
is about
thing
to
about
switch over
me.
to Marvel?
I know enough.
Hagen is 80 years old. I don't care when he was born. He's 80 years old.
Man, I don't think Byrne did a lot of his own inking, so I think he's the inker.
Yeah.
Wow.
He would do the pencils and he would do the writing.
Can I show the balance of my books, or are you going to show something?
I said you're the finale. You're the finale, so you got to.
So we're not ready for me. You're not ready.
Not ready for you. Yeah, you gotta wait backstage for a minute.
I promise to keep my mouth shut, Hagen.
Okay, so Hagen, do you have any more books to show?
I got a ton. I'm gonna have to fly through them.
Okay, you fly through them.
Oh, are we on a deadline?
Yeah, we're on a deadline.
I don't know. Matt said
time's up.
when we wrap up, he said that like 30 minutes ago. So
I know,
yeah. Well, I was saying that I wanted to
anything.
say that again. I wanted a chance to show the books. That's why.
Didn't you say you weren't going to talk? I thought you said you weren't going to talk. I'm sorry.
I
Matt.
love
You
this.
sound like
screen.
my wife.
So this is U.S. Agent number 2 of his 4-part limited series. I have the first one. I hate U.S. Agent, but it's a 4-part limited series and it's related to Cap, so I wanted to get it. This is Nomad number 1.
Yes.
Oh,
I
wow.
had to get it because I have a different Nomad number 1, and Nate loves this book, so I wanted to
Yep.
pick it up.
That's
I'm
the
gonna
mini, the
that one.
4-part mini. And you've got the first issue there. That is the one that I will still stand by is a pretty good read.
Yeah, I picked all of these up. This is the rest of what I've got to show. I picked all of these up off of my bedside table because I am like working through these. I've read about half of them, but yeah,
Nice.
I'm working through these. This is Whiz Kids. This is what year was this? Was it 1990?
If it has anything to do with peeing, it's not a good.
I was gonna
It
say, I
does
hope they
not.
don't do a team up with the
It
Ass
does
Men.
not. This is the
That'd be a horrible crossover.
awful.
You Canadians are
It's a-
dirty.
the Venn diagram of people that would enjoy that is a very fine sliver. This is the 1991 edition. This is a comic book that was sponsored by Radio Shack. It was printed by, I think, Tandy Computer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
Tandy Computer Whiz Kids.
I remember the
It
Tandy
is-
computer. That was short
So
lived.
do I. That was
There's
very
also-
short-lived.
There's also like an Archie story in here.
That's all.
And
Miss
it's
Grundy.
about like it's like recycling and the environment and stuff. And this is actually a pedigree comic, and it comes from I don't know if you can see that, but Kendall wrote their name across the top of it, so it's a pedigree. But yeah, so anything weird like that, I love to pick up. And the weirdest one that I found, I'm going to show last. I'm trying to get all of the Civil War tie-ins, and I don't typically get X-Men books, but this is X-Men number 3 and 4 from Civil War. Now I only need number 2, and I'll have all of the X-Men series from Civil War. And then these 4 are issues 2 through 5 of What's the Furthest Place from Here. Now, I wanted to find issue number 1, but they didn't have it in the dollar bin, or not that I could find. But they did have all of these. And when I went to the back issues, they had one issue number 1, but it was like a 1 in 50 variant cover, and they wanted $10 for it. And I said I'd rather not. And so I'm going to see if I can find it in a dollar bin or for like $5 later or something, and just pick up like a cover A, because I could not possibly care less about like 1 in 50s, 1 in 25s, anything like that. I just want to be able to read the thing. So like some of these are cover
at
B's,
$10.
C's,
That's
D's.
cheap for a 1 in 50, though.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't want to spend $10 on that. Like if I don't care and I can get the story for 2, like why would I spend 10? That's $8 that I can spend on Nomad.
That's right.
Yeah, I made my last video about this, or partly about this. There is a finite amount of dollars that I have in my life to spend on comic books. At one point, that number
That's
will be
crazy
0, and then I'll
talk.
die.
That is just crazy talk.
No, it's that way for everybody. No matter who you are, you will spend a finite amount of dollars in your life on comic books. That's how limited funds and limited time
That's
work.
the
not
way
what
it
Alan told me.
Okay,
That's
no,
not
no,
what
no.
Alan
The way it
told me.
works, the way it works is this: if you spend more dollars than you actually have, it'll motivate you to get more dollars to buy more comics.
Okay. It'll also have to motivate me to find a new spouse. Because, and that's not really something that I'm willing to sacrifice for pieces of paper that are stapled together.
Boy, you're not much of a collector.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm just the worst. If you want to get into Captain America and you somehow missed the MCU, 1, it's okay. And 2, go out and find this.
I have
This
that.
is Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty number 1. It's just a great
I bought that
like
when that
origin
came
story.
out.
Yeah, I had this when I was a kid, and this was how I was introduced to Captain America's origin. I had no idea what it was. Like I'd heard bits and pieces, but I never actually read the thing. And I didn't have a Cap 1, obviously, and I didn't have a 109. I didn't have any of his origins retold. I just had this. And like you've got Red Skull here on the cover, and you've got Cap with his heater shield, and it's just like it tells from his selection to, I think, like right after his first mission. JX, you knew what was going to happen as soon as I popped up. I don't want to hear that from you. That's the one Captain America book that I showed. Come on, ignore this. Next up is this. This is Batman: The 10-Cent Adventure. It's
nice.
just a one shot that I thought was striking, and this is the first page. And I saw that,
Very
and
nice.
I was immediately sold. I really, really enjoy.
It looks like Darwin Cook on the cover.
I thought it kind of looked like Bruce Timm.
Let me see the cover again.
They're similar.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's
it does look like Darwin Cook.
Rick Burchett on pencils and Klaus Janson on inks. And Lee Lothridge on colors. But yeah, so it's just a really neat one shot. I really like those. There's a detective whatever the hell homage there.
27.
Thank you. But yeah, so I haven't read that one yet, but I really enjoy one shots. I like having a complete story. So that was really, really neat to see.
Have you found any more Captain Americas? Have you added any caps to your collection?
I have. I recently got a Cap 108, which fills in my run from 100 to 111. I'm missing 112, and then I have up until like 117. But then like bits and pieces more out of that. I just haven't done a video on them because if I did a video every time I bought a Captain America book, I would only ever show Captain America books, and sometimes people want to see stuff other than that, like JX.
I was going to say JX seems to be tired of Captain America.
Hey, I'm joking around here. That's totally fine. Like there are things that people find interesting that I don't find interesting at all.
Yeah.
But like even though like with Alan, like even though I'm not a Golden Age collector, and a lot of the books that Alan has, like I don't personally find interesting.
Me neither.
For me, what I find interesting is like how much he cares about them, how much he knows about them, and like sort of the passion and stuff behind that. So I'll listen to anybody talk about what they're passionate about forever, as long as it's like a genuine excitement for a thing. That's the thing that attracts me, not necessarily what they show. But the last book that I have, so I don't think any of you have seen this in the past like year. Okay. This is Joey and the Magic T-shirt, issue 1,
Oh my goodness.
volume 1.
Joey looks like Alfred E. Newman.
Yeah, it's an independently published comic book. I couldn't even find like who the publisher was, but it's like it starts off with this like not to be mean, but like amateurish art, and this kid is in a coma, and it talks about like his dreams that he has. I gave it a brief read through while I was flipping through the dollar bin because I flipped and I saw it and I was perplexed because I'd never seen it before. So I flipped through it and was like, I don't really think that's my thing. Then I flipped past it and I was like, well, let me go ahead and take another look at that. And then I looked at it again. I was like, okay, I don't need that. I can spend $1 on something else. And then I flipped past it again. And then I kept thinking about it and I was like, hell, it's $1. I'll buy it. So yeah, like it's just weird. Like I've never seen it before, and I'll spend $1 on anything. So
and you got a deal because the cover price is $1.50.
I know, right? 33% off. So yeah. But yeah, that's cool. Those were my 18 books that I bought out of a dollar bin.
I bet that Joey's is
deal,
just a amateur made book. Like somebody self-published that, maybe even at a Kinko's.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Did you negotiate where you said, well, I'm buying 18 of these. Can you do it for 15 or 13 or something like that?
No.
I always do that. That's my thing.
No, I don't like haggle. I don't negotiate. If there's a price that I see that I don't like, and I tell them that like I think I'm gonna pass on that. If they don't offer me something, I just put it down. Like I don't.
Oh,
There's
really?
not anything that I need so much that like that I'm gonna do that. And I know that other people do, and I don't blame you for it at all.
I
Like
do it
do
all
what
the
you
time.
want. Yeah, but like
I
it's
have
just
no
it's just
shame.
not my thing.
Mhm.
Like
I'm
like
going.
this Avengers 4, right? I've told the story before, but the guy was asking 600 for it. And as I was like flipping through it, I was like, is this worth 600 to me? Am I going to be able to buy this? Like, am I going to feel good about this? And he was like, I'll take 5 without me asking. And I was like, that was just enough for me to swing it. So like I don't
What you
know.
gotta
Like,
do? Okay, here, just a simple thing. You don't even have to say
Don't
that
listen
word.
to Alan because he makes
Okay.
friends everywhere he goes when he buys books. They never
Mhm.
want to sell to him again.
Okay, so what you do is like, then when he gives you that 500, that means he's gonna go lower. What you gotta go is, and then see if he'll drop it one more thing. You don't say anything. You just like kind of show a little bit of emotion.
so I have to get constipated before I haggle then.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I will say this.
Eat a burrito before going.
Follow up as a follow up to Lettuce's comment about Alan and knowing stuff. I got to watch him tonight where another guy was pulling stuff out, and Alan's like, "Oh, that's the first yada yada yada," and this is the first. Oh, and this is like he knew every book that the person like pulled out. It was amazing to watch, actually.
Was the guy
Yeah.
trying to buy the books from someone at the time?
No, it was just some other random guy. Like,
Yeah.
actually, it was funny. After a while, the dealer guy kind of was like sharing knowledge and stuff. Like he was like being very.
Matt, can you
into-
move over? Thank you. I keep looking at half your head. I think I'm looking at some kind of
Part
a
of the problem is
mutated thing is happening. Are you sprouting or what?
no,
Did
my
you pick up the book I
circulation
said, by the
is
way?
a little off, so I'm moving. What
By the way, did you pick up that Amanda Waller book?
I did,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
yeah, I did buy that book, but I'm showing it
Okay.
later.
Shh. Okay. Shh. Sorry.
It actually, I decided to pick up the other one. I got him to put it aside with the kids tonight. I didn't have time to run out to the car with it, so
Cool.
no.
When you
Okay.
guys go to a convention, do you take money in your pocket to buy books, or do you just sit there and bubble and fizz the entire time?
I thought there
you
was going to
take
be a
money?
there is
bank.
there is
we don't
bubbling
bring
and fizzing
money.
happening.
I went the wrong way to go there. By the way, Matt, I got lost today when I was like I was
Oh,
driving all around. But I thought there would be a bank nearby, and
there are
wasn't.
4 bank machines in the facility, Alan.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
thought
he
there would be
doesn't
a
want to
bank
pay the
nearby,
fee.
but
You
there's
see,
They'll have
he
a
doesn't wanna pay
$10
the
fee on them.
no. There's like it's like $5 fee. It's like such a
Yeah.
rip-off.
I know.
I hate
So
that.
my advice to you is to go to your bank on the way there tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow I will bring money. That's why I said. So a lot of them held the books for me because I was so knowledgeable and they liked me. They said, "Oh,
Plus,
we'll
he's got
hold
his
these
own
for
So
you."
you're going to
Don't worry."
make them pay on the prices of the books because of your conversations.
And then I'll say, "Oh, you know what? I don't really feel like getting them anymore." And they'll say,
See,
"Okay, we'll drop the price a little bit." And
They'll say,
I
"There's
have
the door."
I have the other the other thing, Lettuce. A lot of the dealers in my town,
Mhm.
they drop the price for me, and I don't have to ask. They call a couple of jokes, say we'll give you the mat discount, and they just give me a number, and usually it's sufficient enough for me to say sure.
Matt, I have the same thing. I have done with business with so many dealers over so many
Yeah.
years that whenever I call about a book, they'll say,
Sorry, keep talking. I was just realized my humidifier was on, and I couldn't hear
That was an actual jump scare that you just gave me.
It was-
Holy
it was-
crap.
Sorry, I'm terribly
I
sorry.
thought you were having a seizure.
No. I couldn't hear you, so I was reaching over to turn off the. Sorry.
You know, Matt,
you
there's
turn
a
it
little
off with a
button,
hammer?
There's a little button down at the bottom that says mute. And if you're gonna have a seizure, hit mute first, will you?
You're gonna have a
'Cause
seizure.
I'm trying to talk here.
Think of
all right?
everybody else.
I didn't know you were coming to us live from the Ukraine.
But my disinteresting story is basically that now they say the price in the book is 400, the Stephen price is 3 1/4, and that's as far as Stephen's price is going to go, because they always know that I'm very nice about it, but I try to get a deal because everybody tries to get a deal, and that's the thing. Hagen, the thing is, when you're buying dollar bin books, and you enjoy them to buy dollar bin books, I think that's fun, and that's a lot of fun to do. But if I was trying to put together a Captain America run, I think I would keep my shekels kind of organized so that as you are pursuing the Captain America books and you have a finite amount of money, that you put books into your collection that are of a benefit to your run, and then you can get all the ancillary stuff will be with us till the end of time. The dollar bin books.
That's the eternal struggle, right? Because like I want to give myself a variety, because I wouldn't have found Joey and the Magic T-shirt, and this enriches
think of how
my
horrible
life.
your life would have been without Joey.
Exactly. I wouldn't have been able to get like different stuff. I do want to complete my cap run. It's like 68% of the way there. Like I have an Excel sheet that's charting this out. Like it's most of the way there, and all of the big keys they're done. Like I don't have to spend more than like $20 on a book if I don't want to. Like I can find most of the stuff that I'm missing in these dollar bins that I'm digging through. And like I've been like trading with people, and I'm still like acquiring them, but like I know that is a goal that will happen, and it will probably, like if I try, I can probably get it done by the end of the year. But like
Chris, I'll invite you next time, by the way.
I also just like finding new stuff and discovering new things. And if I were focusing solely on buying Volume 1 Captain America, then I wouldn't have bought the fourth reprint of Sandman Swamp Thing #1, Swamp Thing Volume 1 that I found at a used bookstore. I wouldn't have been able to read Sandman. Like it's just it's
I
just
I'll
like
say the way, when I grew up in the Silver Age, there was so much stuff to choose from and a finite amount of money. I had to direct how I was buying. So in other words, if I was buying adventure comics, the nice thing about when I was growing up though was that if I had a buck and I could earn a buck by cutting the grass or doing my chores or whatever, I could buy 10 books.
Yeah.
And then I remember then I only could get 8 when it went to 12, and then you could still get subscriptions for that. They would give you the 10-cent price, but then the problem was they all came with a crease in the middle of them. That's my adventures. My first collection had that. But when I was collecting Flash, I had, because Flash is not terribly cheap. I mean, it's kind of relative as far as when you're going. I had to focus to try to put the run together. Because if I got distracted into the other stuff, I'd never get there. So that was just my experience with it, as far as doing that. And then, of course, once you're done now you start with Avengers 4. Are you going to collect the Avengers run with Captain America all the way too?
No. Well, I mean, like passively, yes, but that's not like a goal of mine. I want to get from Tales of Suspense 58 to 99, and then from Cap 100 to 454, and then the 13 annuals, which I have all 13 annuals, but that's like the main like collectory goal for me.
Fair enough. That's a good
like,
goal.
Do you have any grails that you would want to get into your collection though?
I have one grail, and it's that. Like that's it.
That's a good grail.
If I like that is my book. If I could get a Captain America number 56, the first Atlas cover, where it changes to Captain America Commie Smasher. I really, really like that one, but it's also thousands of dollars, and I've just made peace.
Not all of them are. That's not all. Not all of them are thousands of dollars.
The 56, I haven't seen it listed for less than 2. So,
is that like in the Atomic Age? 56?
Maybe.
What year is it?
Oh God!
Wait, it's Captain America
56?
53.
No, it's so 56 would be much earlier than that. It'd be like in the 40s.
Oh yes, Captain
Maybe
America 75. It It went to 75, so I think the Commie Smasher would be 76 to 78 when they brought it back in the 50s.
I think it's
That's when they tried to start them back up again, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the
That's
second
right.
time you've corrected me tonight, Matt, because it is Captain America 76 is the one that I was thinking of. But yeah.
Well, this time it was a good thing because he's helping you.
God,
And I think that was very nice.
Matt,
Good of you.
I thought you were a DC encyclopedia. I think you're just a comic book encyclopedia.
He absorbs it all.
I know. It's
right
impressive.
There, and it's right there ready to go, which is excellent.
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I would love to own like a Golden Age Captain America at some point. I would just have to save up to get it because it would be semi-expensive. But yeah, I like dollar books. What can I say?
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just was trying to get a handle on where you go on that. Nate, what is your Grail book? Since we're talking about Grails, what is your Grail?
If you want to talk like personally, what I think is unobtainable for me, a Grail would be first appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. I really am enjoying putting together the adventure run, but I don't think I'm gonna put the whole thing together, and I don't think I'll ever get, what is that, Adventure 232?
No, 247.
Okay, yeah. So I can't see myself like actually purchasing that, but for an obtainable Grail, I can see myself purchasing a Lois Lane #1. I think I can put, there's a couple of expensive ones in the Lois Lane run, but for the most part, they're very, very fairly priced. Yeah, Catwoman, I Am Curious Black, and then some of the early ones are harder to find. I'm
only missing 3 issues in the whole run.
What are you missing?
I think 3, 5, and 8.
No way. Oh, dude, hold on.
I think it's that. Those are the issues. I gotta check my list, but I think it's those 3 issues.
3,
8,
or 8. Yeah, okay.
No, I have that one.
Okay.
So it must be a different issue.
Matt, you got it wrong. Everybody shame Matt. Shame him.
But that Lois Lane #8.
What's the time?
That's the lowest number issue that I have so far, and I got that at a con this year, and it just, it's not expensive,
Yeah, that's the one.
I love Lois Lane stuff. Bigby had this big run of it, and I had a book he wanted. I think it was Batman Adventures 12, and so that I had bought years ago, and it's a 9.8 in a slab, but he had his Honey Hole had this run of Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it is the funniest. I mean, it is it's much better than Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen Jimmy Olsen's a Magoo. I like Lois Lane though a lot. She really does. She turns into animals. She's trying to kill him. She loves him. She wants to marry him. She's going to kill him. She's killing everybody around it. She turns into a goat. I mean, it's good stuff. She's marrying the devil.
I have that issue.
She's whipping. They wouldn't let her whip Superman, so she dressed up a Superman dummy, and manacled it to a wall, and she's whipping the mannequin with the Superman suit.
Yeah, I have that covered.
What is that?
That's a barely disguised fetish, is what that is.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I mean, it was Kurt Swan
like smoking
something or whatever. Shall I show some?
Yeah.
Are you going to show something?
No, I'm not going to show anymore. I'm done.
These were all pickups from Band of Brothers.
That's
and
Professor Hulk.
Tired Dad or whatever, Geeky Dad. I think it was Geeky Dad auction. And Stans was another guy. He was pretty good. Very eclectic stuff that they had. I didn't have this one.
Oh, that's nice.
It's beautiful. It's like 9, 6, or 8. I mean, it's just breathtaking.
I love that one.
I think that one came from Bleecker. I think that one came. This one came from Bleecker as well.
Yeah, I remember you buying that one.
Very cool.
And now I'm going into the Flesh Pits.
Oh yeah. So you picked up that lot as well. I saw that lot.
I picked up a lot of lots.
Oh, cool.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's nice.
I like her.
That's my thing. That's my thing. I have to do that. Danger Girl. I want to get the one with the smoking gun.
I got it.
Alan, can you do me a favor and try and sound just a little bit more lecherous when you do that?
I try. It's my
You
best
need to
lecherous.
emote more. You have to emote more instead of going, kind of go,
There you go, like that.
Put a bit of that, what's his name? Oh my guy.
Easy, please.
Yeah, just put some mustard on it.
Oh, that's interesting.
This entire book is pinups. That's all it is. I'd never seen it before.
What is it called?
I won't tell you.
Asking
Why?
for a friend.
Because you're going to want to buy it. I want to have something you can't get.
X-Men.
Yowza!
I'm the Mr. Burns of comics. That's really sad. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That cover makes me want to put on Barry White.
Love, baby, love.
Oh, I know what this set is.
That's porn is what that is.
It's the Scarlet Witch. She's a comic book character.
It gets.
And this one.
You know,
Man,
like
I'm
some
going to start
movies.
calling you the cackler.
You know what? Some movies they people pause the frame, like to try to see whatever.
They won't see anything. My camera's so crappy. I'm going to get a new computer. All it'll be would be a bunch of pixels. There's nothing there to see. Nothing to see here. This is Gun Honey.
That's a nice one. She has some guns.
All of these are from these auctions. The Band of Brothers and the Geeky Dad, and Who Dat and Bleecker and Stans and Callie. And I haven't got my package from Papa Wheelie yet. That has a whole bunch of black cats. So I'll be showing those coming up soon. This is this Doug Sands guy. He had a lot of variants that are really nice. I haven't seen him. I mean, I think I may have seen him like, in a cattle call for, on eBay that you sort of go by. These are all Josh Burns covers.
Oh wow!
And then he
is
would
that
like.
Is that Red Sonja?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a Josh Burns, but I just thought it was really an interesting cover.
That is neat. Who is
What?
that?
What is it? What is it?
Medusa?
I have absolutely no idea. It's just like I like the picture.
I like the picture too.
I like pictures.
Who doesn't like pictures? We're all here because we like pictures.
We're panel pictologists. Something's going on here. This is Vampirella.
That's Vampy doing Vampy things.
Mm-hmm.
She's Vampy's like she's having a blood popsicle or something. Here's another Vampy. This is another Josh Burns. I think he's pretty good. I only have a few more. You've seen all these, Alan?
Some of them. Yeah, I own a lot of them.
Very
So
cool.
I collect Vampy.
Did you see the disappointment in his face when you said you own a lot of them?
Sorry. That's a nice one though. I don't have that one, to tell you the truth.
Stephen won.
One for Steven.
It won't last. So a
Is
lot
that
going
Simon
on in
Beasley almost? It looks like almost
This
like
is,
Simon Beasley.
Yeah, who is that?
I don't know who did this one. Who did it? I don't know.
It almost looks like
There's a
Simon
lot
Beasley or
going on
something.
here.
There's a lot going on in the background there. That is dense.
That is lots of stuff going on.
Not as
That's
dense
cool.
as me.
It's not Simon Beasley. I don't know who it is. I'm just saying it looked like his style a little bit.
Here's another one of the same sort.
That's really cool.
Just a lot going on. I mean, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. Like the background's crazy.
Here's Sonia and Vampirella.
They hang out a lot.
They do.
Here
You
is
like my ums. I know
here
you
is
do.
a foil.
I'm your foil.
Always. You are absolute. That is a true statement. Have you had your business cards put up, Alan Pollitt Marplot, yet? And incidentally, this is from Sleeping Giant, zzz.com, Awaken the Giant.
Okay, I don't see anything.
That's a whatnot seller.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, that was the back of it. What's the front of it?
It's the little sticker that they put on. It's the sleeping.
Can you zoom in? I can't even see the little sticker. Zoom in on the sticker.
I did. What you're on your phone?
Yeah.
I can't see it. I can't.
Alan,
see
there's
the
no
phone.
helping you.
God. You have a computer? Yeah, but I don't use it. Why don't you use it? Because I have my phone.
It doesn't.
And then
get
your
my
wife
voice.
calls, and then the whole thing goes black. Other than that, it's great.
Okay, this one I can sort of see. These foils, it's really hard to see. I know it's Harley Quinn.
When you got when you have a 3-inch screen, it's sort of hard to see.
Well, it's also have the chat, so it's even smaller than that.
Harley?
Looks like the girl that
And
played
it's
Buffy.
it says
Yeah,
puddin',
it doesn't look like Harley actually. strangely.
puddin' pie, it says.
Is that
and-
like a cosplay cover, or it almost looks like a?
I can't tell you, Alan. That's all I have.
Okay.
Get a laptop.
So Steven, I had this right by my
Oh, that's
computer.
the baby right there.
Yeah.
Is that wild? Look at that. That's a nice copy. You have that's a nice grade too.
My webcam helps. It's kind of rough, but I mean, for what it is, it's great. I did a video on this. I'll send you the link because I did a read through of it. I had a ton of fun reading this.
I will look forward to that. Thank you.
And then this was also by my computer. So this is 1962 annual, but this has a lot of those, like you were talking about, those fun stories where
crazy stories,
Bizarro Lois and Superpowered Lois and Mermaid Lois and Baby Lois and Lois
Bizarro Lois looks like the girl from volleyball.
I think the one with the baby Lois, it's like Superman and Lana are together, and she's like, it's like so messed up.
It's so messed up.
She's in the crib. And Lana and Clark are cahooting, or they're kissing and all that stuff. And Lois, as a little baby, is burning because she can see Lana is getting action from Clark. She's the most jealous. She is
very jealous.
A trope. She is a female trope. Come here. Get away. Come here. Get away. That's Lois Lane in a nutshell.
Yeah. It's written so of the time, and that does get annoying, but if you keep that in perspective, it's a fun book.
Now understand, when I grew up, I had the code came in 54, and I came in 53, and so by 58, 59, 60, when I started to read books, they are so homogenized and pasteurized, but that's what I grew up with. And so they had to rely more on interesting stories and art than it would be the graphic nature of the Atomic Age and the Golden Age, and the like horror and crime and all that stuff, because all that stuff was completely pasteurized. So you had to rely on good writing, and so that's why I really enjoyed the Legion, because Edmund Hamilton, who actually was a very gifted writer. He worked in the with Weird Tales and the pulps, and was a very good writer. He was the one that breathed life and personalities into the Legion of Superheroes. And then John Broome and Gardner Fox, but John Broome mostly, breathed life into the Flash. And so you had the combination of Carmen Infantino's art and John Broome's writing. And that was the Flash that I fell in love with, because each month I got to, my friend would come and he was, and just like you guys were saying, he's a thinking man, like Adam Strange. They're thinking men. And that's the way they wrote him.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just berserker rage, and Superman will take the planet out of orbit for a week and then bring it back and everything's fine. I mean, come on. I like the thing where Flash has to dope it out or Adam Strange has to dope it out. And I think that's really, and that's because, and I'll get off it, that's because Julius Schwartz, who took over as the main editor at DC, brought science fiction into the superhero realm. And so all of that, his affection for science fiction was such that because back in those days, the editor had control over what the product was going to be. And so it isn't like now where everybody's an independent agent. They do whatever they want. They're more independent than a hog on ice. And as a result, the quality of what you get is not as good. There is no overarching. It's like the studio system of the 30s. Yeah. You go to a Warner Brothers movie, you go to MGM movie, if you go to a Paramount movie, Columbia movie, you had a pretty good idea of what you were going to get. And it was good because they controlled what was being done. The same thing went through with Stan Lee running Marvel when the Silver Age came out in Marvel Mania, and Julie Schwartz when he was working at DC and was in charge. So the product, the quality of the product over all the titles and characters was consistently good because he demanded that it be that good. And he was the best man. He was a great man to be in that job, and so was Stan Lee. Stan Lee really he had all that bombast. You never heard about Julie Schwartz, but Stan Lee you did, and he did wonderful stuff, and along with all the bombast. But Julie brought that science fiction stuff in, and that's why the Fantastic Four, which was a clone of one of the DC titles, they were dying from 56 up. DC was kicking their butts with bringing back the superheroes. And they finally, Marvel understood that he had to do that because they were swirling the drain. And then they rolled the dice with the Fantastic Four. They brought science fiction into it. And that's where they went. And I'm out from underneath the lemon tree. I'm sorry.
Okay. I got to wrap it up, guys. But
cool.
I got to go. But anything coming up on anyone's channels in the next little bit?
We'll come to church on Sunday. And that will be fun. And Monday we've got our show.
Monday we got our show.
Votes? Can we beg for votes?
And beg for votes for all of the channels except Matt. Next year, vote for Matt. Okay. So
I was going to say, as the only person not a finalist on the SCBCA, I can honestly say I voted for everybody on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Actually,
everybody does the same.
I did too.
Yeah.
I voted for an unknown channel, and I voted for the best new channel. Yeah, and the best new channel was this surly guy. Surly. And I still voted for him.
Come on, 9-panel grid isn't that bad. Yeah, I did not vote for everybody on this panel. There is one person that I didn't vote for, and he's me. But you guys should.
You didn't vote for yourself?
No, God,
he's Mr. Humble.
Vote for yourself. Don't hide your light under a basket. Haven't you read the Bible?
No.
I'm here, aren't I?
No, you gotta vote for yourself.
I'm not underneath the basket.
That's why, I agree with the humility. It's why I'm, in a way, I'm glad.
Thank you, JX.
This is the moral of the story, guys. Moral of the story. I voted multiple times for all of you. Everyone watching, this is the only thing you should learn tonight.
I tried. Okay? They kicked me out.
Yeah, you gotta, you need to find an old email address or make 10 new ones.
I have to assume a different identity.
I actually, Alan, I'm hoping it'll be, my goal was to put it up today. It didn't happen. And I was going to work on it tonight and I didn't, and I'm not going to, but some point this weekend or early next week, I will be putting up my Friday challenge
Oh wow.
for like last week. I'm
Okay.
I'm way behind. I'm back at work and I'm just not in the swing of things.
Oh, that's cool.
But I'm working on that. And
I thought Friday, the last week one was a good one because it's like bring out your biggest books of the year kind of thing.
yeah,
Teach
but
your
then I had to
children
think
well.
about it. It was a lot easier for me to flip through boxes and find trios. I'll tell
It
you
wasn't
that.
hard for me after Alan pointed out 3 of them off the bat. He goes, "What? You were there when I was there when you bought this?"
So
this.
my skill is I remember everything that I see like other people
Yeah.
buying.
I remember.
So yeah.
Real quick, when we were lamenting about the comic boom and then bust, and he says, I didn't buy anything during that
You're gonna
time.
talk about X-Men
And then
again.
I
Oh my
said,
goodness.
I can't remember. I think I bought a couple books. I remember what it was. It was an Avengers that had Polaris, and you bought 2 of them. And I told you at the time you shouldn't buy that. I said, I can't remember what I paid for them. I remember. I can remember what you paid for them, and you paid too much money for them. I remember. And I said, why do I keep you around? I remember.
That is both a flawless Alan impression
I don't think it's
and a
it
perfect
should be a deeper
impression of
voice.
that one kid from the Polar Express movie. Like
Oh, no.
That's the
somehow
one.
gets both
Oh,
notes.
That's
no.
the guy.
Oh no!
Thank you.
That's brutal.
Thank you.
Oh,
There it
man.
is.
Oh man!
I'm
No,
glad I voted for you, Hagen.
No,
I'm
hot
glad I
chocolate.
voted for you.
I have really enjoyed being on my last show on this channel. It's been marvelous, y'all. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, this has been fantastic. Thank you,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank
you, everybody.
everyone.
Take care.
Bye bye.